can we just talk about the fact that jealous and like boy obsessed girls are a freaking ball ache? Can we talk about that for a second? Because I've been obviously doing a lot of thinking back. I've been reevaluating, reviewing my life so that I can, decide, make my decisions in this life with wisdom. Right. So I'm reflecting on experiences that I've had, and I realized that there's like a whole category of women that I just didn't really realize existed. And I never realized how many of them I encountered. I never realized how much that was factoring in to my experience with other girls and women, etc. Obviously, I'm saying girls like more the past, but whatever. Because it doesn't change. The same, everything's the same yesterday, today, and forever, as the Bible says. Like, it's the same now, even in my life, as we speak. And I just wanted to get this off my chest for the sake of the girls who are like me and who may not realize that this is happening, or who have realized that this happens, and let's just have a moment together to air out our frustrations, right? Because first of all, one thing I never realized that a lot of girls do is be jealous of other girls in general, right? Because I'm not a jealous person. I've never really been a jealous person. And it's not because I think I'm everything, but it's like, there's nothing I can do to change who I am. Like nowadays there's a lot I could do to change, right? But the thing with me is I will know what I really started out as. So that's why I can't do that. I would know, like, you know what I mean? I would know. And I would feel like I would be getting acknowledgement and affection. Like, I remember when I first, when I first started wearing makeup, right? And I wasn't allowed to wear makeup. I bought my makeup in secret, and I used to wipe it off on the bus on the way home. Because my mum didn't allow me to wear makeup. But anyway, so when I first started wearing makeup, I remember at first I was all like, it was all fun and games. And then it got to a point where I was like, anytime anybody would compliment me, I'd be like, wait. Are they only complimenting me because of how I look at the makeup? And that's one of the reasons why I decided at some point, I was like, I'm going to keep just dialing it back, because I feel like whoever they're saying is whoever they're complimenting doesn't actually exist. Anyways, that's besides the point. So I've never really been, that's what I'm trying to say about, like, I've always tried to really hone in on like appreciating myself for who I am, and like appreciating and receiving appreciation for being myself, not for being something else, or for like working so hard for it or whatever, right? And so this whole concept of jealousy as a thing is something I never really thought about, because I was never like looking at another girl and thinking, oh my gosh, she's with the guy I want, which is where this is going. Because I've realized that this is what's happening, right? I was never the girl that was like, oh my gosh, she's getting all the attention and she's getting whatever. Like, I was never in fact, what I was probably off in the clouds, you guys know me, I'm off in the clouds in my own world. So I didn't even realize it, but it's important to realize that this stuff happens, because I've had to realize that I need to look out. I need to watch out for these women and make sure I don't befriend them, because these are the snakes in the grass. These are the ones that come out and start killing their friends and throwing acid in people's faces and this, that, and the other, right? And that happened for real in this country. Like, there was a situation between these two girls. They were both black. One of them was lighter skinned. Hold on, let me close the thing. Also, quick side note. Because it's the guys doing construction out there, right? Oh my gosh. So I went out there, right? You know how I said I was going to go out there and I was just going to drink some tea and just enjoy the view? Well, one of them started talking to me, and now I can't go back out there because now I'm feeling shy because I have a freaking womb. Ah! Anyway, sorry, calming down. Ah! Yeah, so now I can't go back out there because now I feel shy. Okay, now what am I going to say? What am I going to say? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? You know what I mean? And it was what he said specifically, because he was like, I was drinking my tea, and then he was like, hey, what, you're not going to offer me a cup of tea? And I was like, don't get me started. Anyway, let's go back. Let's dial it back. Everybody calm down. Everybody take a deep breath. Okay, we're fine. Okay, cool. So yeah, anyways, so there was these two girls in London, and there were two black girls. One of them was lighter skin, one of them was darker skin. This is a part of the story because basically, long story short, the lighter skin girl was really jealous of the darker skin girl was jealous of the lighter skin girl. This is a big thing that happens in this country. I don't know how it is in the States or other countries. over here, it's a huge freaking deal. That's another thing I never noticed. I never noticed there was this rivalry between Africans and Caribbeans in this country. I never realized there was this huge rivalry between dark skin, light skin, whatever skin. Because again, I'm never coveting what somebody else has. So I'm like just there trying to be comfortable in what I have within myself, if you know what I'm saying. And also because I grew up in Essex, right? Like the girls here, they fake tan to oblivion. So for me, I was like, dang, if these girls here are really trying so hard to darken their skin, I better be so grateful for you know what I mean? So anyway, this is all just to give you guys an understanding of how I don't get how these types of women exist, right? But anyway, so this girl, and what ends up happening, long story short, is the darker skin girl throws acid on the lighter skin girl. She didn't even do the plan well. She didn't even like strategize it so she wouldn't get caught. She was just so overwhelmed with jealousy. This is why you see jealous women, they're like the equivalent of like the anger that they have and how scary their violence is like the equivalent of, you know, those men who are like highly fit, like the ones who like they do everything to be seen to be the good guy, and they sit there in the friend zone for about 10 years and they build up all of this anger inside of them, and then they're the ones who tend a lot of the time to end up being quite violent as well. Anyway, those two categories, those are the scary ones in our camps, okay? The guys who think they're over too goody, right? Those guys scare me a lot, because I'm like, you might be harboring, and I've seen it, because then the smallest of things, you're not interested in them. Oh, it's because like they just blow up. I've seen it from like all guys from all over the world. Like it's insane, of all ages. It's like it's not to any one thing. It's like across the board they do this. Like, and then the other guys, they don't do it, right? Anyway, so back to this. So yeah, so she just acids her face and whatnot. So this jealousy thing is a thing I don't physically get. I don't get it. I don't sit there. If a guy is interested in another girl and she's one of my friends, listen, he's not for me, because it's either that if he was for me, then this is his own issue and his flaw in judgment that he has to deal with between him and God. And either way, I don't want somebody who wants somebody else. Like, why would I want that? Like, I don't get it. Like, this was like, so I don't understand that, the whole jealousy thing. I don't understand you looking at something that I have. Like, listen, funnily enough, growing up, a lot of my friends are really wealthy. I've always been around wealthy people. This is just crazy. A lot of my friends are really wealthy. And I didn't really, again, I wasn't like jealous. I wasn't there like, oh my gosh, I wish I was like, I was just like happy for them. I was just like so happy for them. Like, good for you. Like, if my friend did well, good for you. If you're ahead of me and whatever, good for you. But I didn't realize that was a problem for other people. I didn't realize other people were harboring resentment and other people were conniving and doing whatever. Hold on a second. Sorry, I keep moving around because look, it's the lighting. It's because the sun is moving around this way and the window pane is just making it just weird. Obviously, it's afternoon. The sun's going to set in the west, which is over there. So it does this every day. Anyway, no point. Yeah, so I didn't realize this was a thing. Like, I really didn't. Like, even at school, I didn't realize this. And you know what bothers me about this the most? It's how other people react, particularly men. Because I hate it when I get looked at as if, like, I'm trying to be a part of drama that I'm not trying to be a part of. I'm just here. I'm not even aware of what's going on. I'm the same dumb like you, not recognizing what's happening. And I'm looking back and I'm realizing that this has happened every single season of my life. And it is also happening as we speak right now. As we speak right now, I'm thinking again, like, I've now like spent some time getting to know some people, and I'm about to do another great cleansing. If you know, you know. I'm going to do another great cleansing. I'm thinking of getting a new phone number and everything again, right? Hopefully for the last time that I'll do that, right? But anyway, I digress. So I didn't realize this was a thing, right? This is what I'm saying. These types of girls give me a ball, like, because they sit there quietly, like, and honestly, the Brett Cooper situation is the thing that really made me start to think a lot more about this, because I was thinking everything that's happening with her, putting them aside just the Daily Wire and just how disgustingly these guys are behaving. Her friend, I know she just sat, because now I'm looking back and I'm realizing there's times when there's definitely been people just sitting there just like, you know, just like growling to themselves about like what you're getting and what you're experiencing and what you're doing. And it's so stupid, because that's what's also stupid about it, is like all the time you're spending thinking about somebody else, plotting against somebody else, right? All that time you're spending doing that, if you had spent that time working on yourself, then maybe you'd be getting some things, baby girl. Maybe you be getting some of the things. Maybe you be on your path and you be finding your own path and your own right. And it's so funny how people that dealt with jealousy and whatnot, even Trisha Paytas was talking about this. This is why I respect her, because she says, hey, look, I used to be so jealous of people. She's like, she admits to whatever. She was like, and now look at her. She's found her pathway. She's found her life. She's living the life she never thought she was going to have. She never thought she was going to have children. She wanted to become an icon. She's iconic. You know what I mean? She's she's built or does all these different business things that she wants to do. She's got a beautiful family. Like, all that time she probably wasted feeling jealous. She might have been able to have got there like 5-10 years earlier. Not that I'm critiquing her, because you guys know Trisha Paytas is one of my favorite people on the internet, right? But I'm just to say that, like, it's just so illogical, like this whole jealousy thing. But it's a thing. And unless you're somebody like Trisha Paytas who can like reevaluate, it's so dangerous to have those kinds of people around. And I realized this is actually why I always used to think, because, you know, people say, oh, you know, if you keep having situations where you lose friends, then maybe that's because you're the problem. Maybe it says somebody else that's the problem. Maybe people are just dumb. Because the other thing, men are really good. This is why men need to submit themselves to Jesus Christ, so that he can lead you in wisdom to find women that are actually angels and not witches. Because let me tell you something, we all look the same. There you go. So you're not going to know, and you're going to get, and you know who works the hardest? It's those kinds of girls. Like, let's move on to that scenario, the boy crazy element, right? I never realized there's so many situations I can think of off the little back of my hand in every stage of my life, whether it was when I was a teenager, whether when I was earlier into my adulthood, and again, even right now. Now, obviously, guys, I'm not going to give you any examples of what's happening right now, because I'm not messy. Like, to be honest, I know these people, they would love the drama. They would love an opportunity to create some big story and some big thing. So we're going to leave out the stories of today, right? The stories of my recent adulthood and my present experience. And I'll give you guys some examples of situations, because I'm now realizing how many friends I had that were like actually obsessed with guys. And it would always show itself like in these mixed friendship groups, right? Because I used to have lots of different friendship groups, which is what's sad, because I'm looking back, I'm like, I've lost some really good friendship groups. I had really, really good friendship groups, and I don't even know what freaking happened. And now I know why this thing has happened. So like, for example, there was one friendship group and there was 2 girls in there that I had a situation with. One who would have been my longest running best friend if we were still best friends to this day, because obviously it's hard for me to have any close friends that I've had for a long time, because I've moved so much. And that's one of the things that I don't think people thinking about when they're just taking kids around the whole place all the time, that now I don't have any lifelong friends. And I think people with lifelong friends, it's such a blessing to have friends that were with you at different like phases of your life. And I'm just never going to have that, which is really sad. But anyway, so other than the Lord, of course. But yeah, so there was 2 girls in this friendship group. So this is like a friendship group of like 10 of us. This is like when I'm like a teenager, like 16. This is like a 16 to 18-ish kind of age, right? There's a big group of us. There's like 10 of us, right? So like all of the guys, I knew one way or another for quite a while, right? Because they were all friends together, and I knew them since like the year we started secondary school, right? So I was good friends with them. You know, we used to hang out. We used to sometimes, no, did we do that? Yeah, we used to hang out all the time. We used to like video call and stuff, and we just do stuff, right? It was fun. And we used to all meet up, because like there was this thing we used to do like where we would all knock for each other, and it would start with like, there was this guy who used to live near me called Shay. Oh, love him. He was such a sweet guy. He's a sweet Irish boy, right? And he used to knock at my door. He used to knock at my door, and he would knock at my door first, and then we would go and knock for everybody's door, like over the whole town of our whole friendship group. Like that was another sub-friendship group, because some of the friends were in that friendship group and some of the friends were in another friendship group. And so we'd go and knock at everybody's house, and then we'd stop at every park on the way. And it was just like, it was so much fun, right? Those are the things in my childhood that I'm just so grateful to the Lord that I had, like, those experiences. But yeah, and that's how I know this town really well, because we used to walk around the whole thing. That's what I'm saying. I know where everything is. Like, anyway, so we had this friendship group, right? So some of them were from this friendship group, some of them from another, but they were all mixed. Anyway, this friendship group, another new friendship group developed, right? Where there was like all of these guys, and then there was me, my bestie, who had been my best friend since like, I don't know, maybe year 8 or 9. Oh, actually, we've been friends since year 7, but we had our ebbs and flows in the beginning, right? You know, we're women. It's heinous, right? And then there was another group of 3 female friends who were all best friends, 3 of them. And we all merged these friendship groups. It just naturally happened, right? Because people just becoming friends and whatever and whatever. And so I was somewhat friends with everybody, except from one girl that was from the other group, who, it's not that I wasn't friends with her, but I just didn't really know her. She was from another side of the school. We were never in the same lessons together. Also, the vibes weren't vibing. And in every single one of these scenarios, you guys, the vibes were not vibing, okay? So the vibes weren't vibing, and I just felt something was off. And that's the funny thing. In all these scenarios, these types of girls, right? The jealous boy crazy ones, right? there would always feel something was off, but I just wouldn't know what it was. And I also wouldn't vocalize it because I'm like, you've got nothing. Again, I'm not a jealous person. I'm not somebody who's full of drama. So I'm not going to just start saying stuff when there's no like actual evidence. That's just in my head. That's just between me, myself, and the Lord, right? So so then we all start to hang out together and it was all fun and games. But then I realized that one of the girls in the other groups likes to whisper to one of the other girls. Well, she likes to whisper to different people individually anyway, which is weird because we'll all be in a group situation. Everyone's just casually talking and then she'll just start whispering. And again, I didn't think too much into it because I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't care. It's like, I don't care. Like, this is what I'm saying. I don't have time for these kinds of women in my life. I don't have time. And this happens with grown women. The thing is, this is what's shocking me about all of this. I'm experiencing this is in my adult life. I'm like, how am I here who's about to turn 28 this year? And this had not changed. This has not changed. This has happened in every season of my life. I've seen women behave. Women older than me, double my age, same behavior. Anyway. So anyways, so a situation occurred. I didn't know what was going on with the group, right? But all to find out that this girl had been always drip feeding all this information to the guys all the time about me. Because remember, I was close with them first before she got close with them, right? I was close with them first before she got close with them. And I wasn't trying really hard to be like, to be whatever, like whatever. I was just living. I was just existing. You know what I'm saying? I was just living my life. So then these guys started to approach me because obviously they were close to me. So they would start asking me certain things. Like, so one of the times, so then what happens one day is we're all supposed to go to the cinema, right? Together as a group, like all of us. And I was really excited. I was organizing it, whatever. Next thing you know, one of the guys messages me like, I don't think we should go to this thing anymore, whatever. And I was like, okay, why is that? Like, that was so weird. I didn't understand what was going on, right? Next thing you know, now this same guy here, right, let's call him, for the all intents and purposes, let's call him David, right? So David, right now, has said this to me and I'm thinking, okay, like I just let it be. I just let it go. And then later on, I was like, so what's going on? And then like, well, we heard what you said about so-and-so. And I was like, what did I say about who? They were like, oh, this other girl told them, right? She told them that I told them that they can't come because I want to go with the guys, me and whoever else with the guys without them. Why would I do that? Like, do you think I'm desperate for their attention? Like, this is what I'm saying. And then when guys actually believe this stuff, that's what the bit that gets me. I'm like, do you think I'm that freaking desperate for attention? Like, seriously. So anyway, so then this is what happens, right? So then he comes and just praise be the name of Jesus that we're living in the digital age. And I could screenshot, because I was like, send me what she said, screenshot. And I screenshot him exactly the conversations. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. But guess what? Fast forward, he ends up in a relationship with her, right? This is before we went to university. They end up in a relationship together, right? At this point, even his friends have realized that something's off there, right? He became the slave to the woman, as happens all the time with these kinds of women, because she would always be like, oh, she was one of those like that sits and goes, hee. And I didn't really notice it until hindsight, like literally looking back at it. At the time, I didn't care, wasn't paying attention to it, right? And so they end up in a relationship. And I remember thinking in my head again, I was thinking, this is a bad idea. But his friends are telling him this is a bad idea. He's with her because he was like the first person to get his license to start driving, whatnot. So he used to drive her everywhere. He used to spend like all of his hard-earned money on her, all of this, all for them when they were going to, and everyone was like, when you go to university, she's going to drop you. Dropped him like a hot potato. She's now married to another man with kids and all sorts today. It is insane. But obviously, it would, every time something would go down, it would always be the guys approaching me, because like the same thing happened with one of the girls who I was initially friends with, my old best friend, right? Because she, again, got into a relationship with this guy and she became obsessed with him. Well, that was all she ever did, right? So I would hang out with my other friends. Every time I would hang out with my friends, I would always invite all of my friends, everyone. I'll say, guys, I'm doing this, and I'll text everyone, because I never wanted anybody ever to feel left out. I hate leaving people out, right? Because I hate people feeling left out. So I would always do that, but then she would always be with this boyfriend of hers, right, at the time. And because she was boy obsessed, and like she's like, now that she's got a man, like it became her personality, right? So, and again, I didn't realize how much she was begging for attention. Like, because like when we were at school, now that I'm looking back, I remember she used to wear her skirt so short. I remember there was one time that some of the guys were teasing her underwear because they were like, oh my gosh, why is it? We can literally see the like your watermelon. Like, oh my gosh, it was insane, because that's how short her skirt was. She would try really hard, and it continued into adult life. Like in adult life now, like I remember, like as we were I never understood why we just naturally broke away, but there became a point where like she moved to a certain area and I was in a certain area, and our lives just started to change. And every time I'd be around her, she'd just be she just devalued herself, like basically anything to get male attention. And like she'd post these photos like with her with her ass out like in the back and like bent over, and she'd be like posting like all these videos of her like cooking and doing this and like the way she was doing it, that's what puts me off posting my own content to this day, my own cooking stuff, because I love to cook. Like I always cook food and then I take a photo and then I go to post it on Instagram and then I'm like, I don't want like I get flashbacks to these girls who are like, they're trying to like, you know, advertise themselves on all these things, right? And when I knew that I wasn't crazy about her is that there was one time where she started posting with guns. Like I'm like, sister, we are in the United Kingdom. What are you doing with a gun? But she would just be doing all of this. She started dressing real sexy. Like I was just like, girl. And she's actually talented. She's intelligent. She was one of the best. She was at the time, I say, the best singing voice I ever heard in my life. And again, I was pushing her into singing because she didn't want to sing, I remember. And I was the one who pushed it, like, oh, you got to do this. Like, go for it. Like, you know what I mean? She has an incredible singing voice. But yeah, so anyway, so what ends up happening in this scenario? How did I link this with her? Oh yeah, so basically what happened with her now is, now in this friendship group, these guys one day approached me because they're like, we heard that you, and I respect them because you know what? They're always honest with me, the guys. That's why I respected them. Like they were always honest with me and they would always come up to me. That's the only reason I would know anything had happened, right? So one day they come up to me and they're like, oh, how comes you, we heard you're leaving so-and-so and so-and-so out. Excuse me? I was like, I've invited her to every single thing, because then basically her and another girl had made it out to them as if I was trying, and I was just like, you know what? Because I feel like some girls feel like, obviously, it's the victim card. If you as a woman play the victim, men naturally want to, you know, jump in and swoop in, right? And save the day, right? So this is what they do, right? This is what these jealous boy crazy, this is what I'm saying, they give me an absolute ball ache. I'm like, I just wanted to go to the cinema. I just wanted to hang out. I just wanted to chill. I just wanted to have some friends. But now I'm finding myself being critiqued and scrutinized at every corner because you decided to go and start playing the, oh my gosh, this is so hard for me. And then I obviously look like I must be enjoying it because I'm unbothered. I'm unbothered because I don't care. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, there's so many, that was actually a really good example. And this continued. Same exact type of situation happened at university. I had multiple different friendship groups, mixed, male, female, yada, yada, yada. Girls going out. Like this girl makes a group chat. There was a whole big group chat. We all had one big group chat. This girl makes a group chat with just her and all the guys. And I was just like, and she was a stunning girl as well. I was just like, why are we like this? Like, it's actually crazy. And she just like makes this group chat with the guys and she, you know, she's whatever. And then she's saying lies on my name. She's also the same one who then lied to the other friend that didn't talk to me for 10 years until this last year. And he was like, oh, I never talked to you because so-and-so said you were talking about me behind my back. Why would I be talking about you behind your back? I am historically the one who, as soon as there's anything that happens, I am the one who says, let's go have a conversation directly with that person right this instant. That's what I used to do at school. Be like, let's go talk to them right now. When I was in university, let's go talk to them right now. As an adult, same thing. In workplaces and whatever, let's go talk to that person. Let's all of us be there so everyone can see. But that's how you know you're dealing with these kinds of people, because they never want to do that because they know they've been playing a game. And this is a lesson I had to learn, right? That when it comes to telling the truth and you're somebody that tells the truth and you're dealing with liars and manipulative people, lying manipulative people, the reason why they win, right, is because the lying manipulative person has put in all of this effort to convince the jury of whoever's the jury in the situation that you are indeed the problem. You are not trying to accuse anybody, and you're also not trying to create some fake story. You're just living in reality. So because you seem to be unbothered, right? First of all, the unbotheredness works against you because now people think you just don't care, right? When you don't know, there's a whole plot that's gone on behind your back. And this doesn't just happen with female friends. This is happening to me with, like I said, across the board, like in family and all sorts of things, right? And it's happening right now, mind you. This is why I'm understanding it, because now I'm watching it in real time. So now I can like pinpoint the stages, like, oh, so that's how you did that. I'm clocking the game now, right? And so they have put in all this effort. They know what things that they're lying about. So they've already thought about how they're going to explain those things. So then if you now come to somebody like me who's not even paying attention to all this because I'm busy focusing on my damn self, minding the business that pays me, building my own winning and working on my own winning strategies for my own personal life, for my own personal goals, right? then you end up becoming the problem, and everybody gets swayed by these other people. That's what I'm saying. And especially when the problem with when it comes to women, it's like the men are the worst, because they've got no sense of, their discernment is so lacking. Because if you do certain things with men, like if you look after them, if you're gentle with them, if you're nice to them, if you listen to them, things like that, right? Look after them, hook, line, and sinker. I had to tell this to this man that I was speaking with, right? And he was telling me about how, experience he had with a woman. This man is in his, how old is he? I don't know, maybe like 40. And he was telling me about his most recent experience with a woman and how it really hurt him, right? And he described, the reason why he described liking her is all to do with things that she did that we as women can do, either because we love you or because we're trying to manipulate you. It's all the exact same. That's why I said it looks the same. Whether it's because I'm doing this because I love you, I'm doing this because I want to take advantage of you, it's going to look the same. I'm going to look after you. I'm going to all the things he was saying. It was all this, like the nurturing type, loving, looking after, being there for you, being a friend, being all of this, being whatever, all that stuff. Or the witches do it just like the angels do it. You don't know. This is why. Anyway, so yeah. So this is just, I can't remember why I started mentioning that part particular. Oh yeah. So they get swayed. They get swayed because they're not focusing on what's going on. They're not focusing on this. Is what I'm saying. This is why I respected the guys, because these guys were at least would come and ask me, right? My friends that were because and the guys who really thought with the logical thinking would always be able to see that there's no way that it's her, because we know her. When before was she behaving like this? So why would she behave like that now? But then again, like I said, this is how manipulative people work. Once they know how to play the people that are there, and they do. And all of these girls, now that I'm looking back at, they really did used to try really hard to play up to like the male. And that's another thing I can't stand about. I can't stand people that change their, whether it's male, female, whatever. I can't stand people that change their personality based on like the opposite gender being there. Like that, it just grinds my gears. So when I see that happening, girls like, we're all just here doing whatever. Oh, like there's a woman that I know of in person in real life, right? She's an absolute freaking witch, one of the witchiest of all the witches that I know, right? All of a sudden she has a man now, and obviously because she wants to keep him, her personality has changed. And honestly, I've just prayed for him, and I just pray for him because I hope that she doesn't crush him. But I guarantee there's not any amount of conversation that anybody's going to have that's going to convince him that this woman is wicked in any way, shape, or form. Nothing is going to be said that's going to convince him, right? But I know her, and I know how she was before she was with him. And now the only reason she's changed is because she knows that's how heinous these people are. She knows that if she reveals her true nature, he's no way he's going to be with her, because the reason he's with her is because she's putting out this good woman, like whatever, caring, whatever, story arc for him, right? Narrative. She knows she has to keep that up. So because she has to keep that up, she has to pretend while she's with him, because she knows that if he was to see the real her, he would not be there. This is what I'm trying to say. So I don't think these women like these jealous boy crazy women, they give me a bullet. And this person I'm talking about is a grown woman, mind you, grown women. So I'm seeing this with grown women, and seeing it especially when I see it in women who are like in their like 40s and like 50s and things. I'm like, did we really never graduate from like school? Like, did we really, like, I can understand that, early in life you might not be aware of how you're feeling and why you're feeling, but at a certain point you got to go, why am I spending so much time like thinking like this or obsessing over that, or like, you know what I mean? Like, it's actually crazy. And it's so funny because this individual that I'm talking about now, the one that's boy crazy, is another one of those people that I knew that I never realized that I'd known from before, like obviously from this town, to be clear, that would like always be saying stuff to me like, oh, this is only happening because he's interested in you. And I can't stand it. I can't stand the women like focus on yourself. If a guy doesn't want you, then why do you want him? Do you know what I'm saying? So anyway, whatever, we'll leave it there because life's a game. Listen, these boy crazy jealous women give me a freaking ball, like, ladies and gentlemen. And this is what I'm not trying not to risk happening again, because I can't bother to get in all this unnecessary drama for no good reason, like literally no good reason. Or like judging you because, oh, now you have this business and now you have that and whatever. Like, you think you're special. No, you're projecting. You think I'm special. And now you're feeling less special because you're not doing what I'm doing. And actually, if you just focus on yourself and spending so much time paying attention to what's happening in my life, you would be where you want to be as well. So this is what I'm saying to you guys, that losers are victims. Winners are victors. We have a victor mentality. I win. Listen, if you, like, this is what I'm saying. If a guy's with another woman and I'm like, this is your loss. it's not my loss. It's your loss. I'm not going to fight for you. You have an error in judgment. Why do I want to be with somebody with an error in judgment in the first place? And anyways, it's either that you have an error in judgment or you're not for me. Then go and be with whoever you want to be with. Either way, it's not my business, and I'm not going to be out here looking at another woman coveting what she has. Like, anyways, look, see what I'm saying about the lighting? It's because the sun is moving. Anyways, I'll change my position for the next video, but whatever. Anyways, you guys, if life's a game is pay to win, I really wanted to get off my chest because I was thinking about this while I was in the shower. I was just thinking, this is actually crazy, the experiences I've been through and the numbers of times this has happened. Like, and I'm just like, for goodness sake. And I have, oh my gosh, there's juicy stories I could tell you guys about things that happened in my adult life with these types of stories. But we'll see. We'll think. I'm trying to walk in wisdom, you know, in 2025. I say that every year. Like, I haven't been saying that like for the last, anyway. If life's a game is pay to win, God bless you. Oh, God loves you. I love you. And I'll see you in my next one.